Welcome to Modulus Factory Automation. My name is Nilaus, and we're going to do a let's try of this game here. This came out about a month ago, and in that month, a lot of people have come into my stream, hidden in comments or Discord, and saying, have you played this game? You really should play this game. Please try this game. So now we're going to give it a shot. Now we have a little bit of time. We've been very busy with Shapes 2, and now let's take a look at Modulus. So let's see what it says on the streaming page. It says build, automate and optimize production lines across the Sky Islands with real spatial constraints. Every production line is an open-ended puzzle, which operators use, how to route your belts, and how to fit your factory line into the landscape. Your solutions, like your factories, are uniquely your own. There are no enemies, and there is just endless modularity, as it says. So we're going to give it a shot, and if you find this interesting, let me know in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, you know the drill. This is how you indicate to me that this is something you want to see more of. So if there's no interest, we'll just do the one episode. If there's more interest, we'll do as many as there is interest for. So let's dive in. The first thing that's really important is here, Classic Mac, recommended. Do not do this. Don't do it. Just absolutely do not do it. Play on the free build map. See, free build map sounds like it's more of a creative mode, but it isn't. It's just a less shitty map. You can see here that these rivers, they don't add anything, in my opinion. They just cause frustration and means that the game that's supposed to be modular is a lot less modular because there's just no room to build. So I would highly recommend build on the free build map because then you can actually do modules and buildings and all that stuff. Should we do the tutorial? No, not really. So let's call it YouTube and let's give it in. And well, I'll be your tutorial, I suppose. Okay, so here we are. It says, welcome. In the Modulus, you'll maintain a factory that constructs many buildings. These buildings provide the colony below with valuable resources. Buildings are constructed out of building blocks called modules. Remember that all resources are infinite and there's no cost to placing or removing things, so feel free to experiment at your own pace. If you ever want some information, check the manual with the pause menu. Yeah. We'll never do that. And understood. You may explore at your own terms. Should you need direction, the manual will provide all the necessary information. I'll be standing by. Thank you, Atlas. So now the only thing we get is like reach level 3 and deliver robot. Okay, so this map, this is the map basically. There is a little bit of a here. So basically everything is constructed on these platforms, and they have some resources on here, and they have some delivery dock where we need to deliver stuff to. And then you can, when you level up, get these permits. Then you can buy new islands that have different resources. This is hexa, shards, and oil. And this is like the basic stuff. Or the polyrock. Yes, polyrock. And yeah, so we go out here and get more resources as we progress. These are the resources we have. They're used for science, so we'll get that in a little bit. Well, so the first thing we need to do, familiarize ourselves with, is what are all the things we could do. We have here the build menu, basic build menu. We have conveyors, we have tunnels, that's the underground belts, skylines, that's connecting different platforms, splitters, miners. Well, let's start using some miners. And let's build that here. So we click, 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 and click, and then you can drag a line through them. Then we get 4 of these. We can hover over and see that they're 15 per minute, and this belt is 60 per minute. So we need 4 of these on a belt, and then we can go into this one, the furnace, which is like the first step here. So this will take 60 inbound and put 15 outbound. So that means now we have a quarter belt, and what we have out here is a beautiful little cube. Ta-da! This is the basic building block of the game, and it's all about taking these blocks and sort of changing them into weird shapes and figuring out what to do then. And we can do that with cutters, we can do it with assemblers, we can do it with color, monochrome color, and then we have later some other parts here, data centers, that's not it. So we go over to the other menu here, and here we have the different types of buildings. And what our objective is to build a basic bot assembly, small. So it needs basic cores and needs some shapes below, and then it creates some basic bots. So this is what we want. So the first thing we need to do is make some basic cores. So that's going to be our first objective, is to build some basic cores. So the way the game generally works is that you mine resources, do operations, put them in here, and get some higher level thing. And that's kind of the essence of it. So what we're going to do is we are going to figure out, click here, and then we get the 2 shapes that we need. So this shape, the polyrock shape here we got here, is 4x4x4, so that's 64 tiles, voxels, and we can then see this one is a block that's 64, and this one is a block that is 32. And if we also look at it in a different way, we can also look at it and say that there's 24 of these and 48 of those to build the facility, and then that also means that this ratio is going to be consistent. So our objective is to figure out how to do a build that gets from this shape into this shape, or from this shape into two of these shapes, which shouldn't be too difficult, but let's give it a shot. The first thing we want to see is this one is producing, it's consuming 15 per minute, so we can actually say it can't really get any bigger than this. We'd have to dig a new line and make it parallel. So we'll start with something like this. Yeah, we'll start with this. So we can click on the building, get in here, then we can rotate the building, we can flip the building, and then we can cut it at different intervals here. If we cut it at this interval, then we get these 2 blocks. Seems good. So now that's coming out here. Then it now comes out at, if we hover over here, it comes in at 15, it comes out at 30, and because there are 2 identical blocks. Okay, so what do we want to do with these blocks? Well, we want to put them together in this shape, so we need to do a splitter, and then we do an assembler to put them back together. And then now each of these blocks come in on either side, and then we can take them over here and we can put them together into the shape that we have here. But we don't need to do any, like, it could also be, like, this is the same. The rotation doesn't matter, it's just that the shape is there. And then when we click, it says that we have now identified, it identifies that the module we've created is actually a correct module. Yay! So this is nice, and then we can bring it in here. This comes in at 15 per minute. We can see out here, it comes in 2 times 15 and comes out as 1 times 15. Those ratios are almost always correct, but not always. So the thing is, like, we can now drag it in here. We also want to do the other shape, which needs to be twice as big. So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then here, and we drag it through. So this shape will also now be, we can copy this shape, and we get this shape again. Okay, so now we get outbound. Yeah, actually I want to basically do the same thing as the other one. And we'll reset it so we get to see the shape that comes in. Now what we could do is we could actually take the shape and we could just put it on top of each other. There. Like that. And then we take this shape and then we cut it. Yeah. Let's see what we get in. Come on. And we cut it down the middle, and then we get 2 of those shapes. Brilliant. Module created. And we can then move you closer. There is one consideration, is that when we put things inbound, they can only come in at 15. These cranes max 15 operations per minute. So this is coming in at 15. So that's 1 crane and 2 cranes for this. We can only do 4 cranes on this build. So that's a good start. We could definitely build another one immediately just to feed it in here, but we couldn't put it into this facility because of the lack of cranes here. So we'll start with one of these and just let it flow. The building is now constructed, and we now have this. This building isn't being serviced by a harvester drone, whatever the hell that means. But what we now see here is that we have an output of 7.5. So because we're putting in 4 of these and 8 of these, and that gets 2 out here. So basically half of what we put into this is coming out. So since we're only getting this in at 15, we only get 7.5 outbound. Yuck. We could upgrade, but we need to unlock some tech, so that's not an option. So we are stuck with only 7.5 of these cores, and then we need to move those on to somewhere else. I am just going to remove all of these useless things. This little blinky thing that's kind of bugging me. Also these. There and there. And here. Okay, so now the next thing is, if we look at this one, basic bot assembly small. This needs cores, and then it makes it into basic bots if we also have the other 2 modules. So let's figure out where we can make those 2 modules. Yeah, so here's already a nice thing. We can actually just say, this is nice, but wouldn't it be nicer if it was down here? Can even just flip it and then go, couldn't it be nice if it was all the way down here? So it's kind of not in the way of anything. I think that's better. Oh, that's not. I didn't want to move it. There we go. So now we can just do a copy of this part, because I think that's what we want for the next build. We want to make one of these, and I'll just make it here. We might do it somewhere else later on. So this is the basic bot assembly, and we're going to go over here in the module viewer. I'd say this is 32 voxels, and this is also 32 voxels, but this is colored black. And they are also 48 of each. So basically what I would like to do is I'd like to create a shape and then cut it right before going in. So we get Yeah, that should be good. Right, let's start with this one. So we are going to get a normal shape out. Which one? That one has not been done yet. Okay. We are going to do a. We're going to start by doing. Really. I'll do this one. Okay. So we start by doing a cut, and that will be. So what we could do is we could do cut like this. Then we get 4 output, or we could sort of cut it half and then cut it in half again. I'm going to do it this way because then I can do the final cut right at the end. There. Then I'm going to take this one. And this is now 30 output, and it goes in here, and then we put it together, which is exactly what we've done before. We are going to be building it into this shape. Good. And then we take this shape, and then we cut it like this. And that will actually give us, I think like this, exactly the shape that we want. If we rotate it and slice it down the middle, it will identify that this is the shape we want. Great. Then we need the other one, which is a little bit more complicated, so I'll probably need a little bit more space. So the first thing we want to do for this is also do a cut here. This will take our... Now we need to go over to the other one. We'll do a cut down the middle. Good. At this point, we want to... actually, since this had... Oops. Undo. I'm actually going to start by coloring it, because all we need here is going to turn it monochrome. You can turn either white or black, so you can also just remove colors. That's nice. This one will now be reset. Click reset, and then it'll come in the black shape, and then we'll cut it in half. There we go. Then I am going to there, put it together, and then get it into an assembler. This assembler will take these two and then kind of make it into a vertical block. Come on, there we go. And at this point, you're going to go a little bit further away. Then I need to just take the output here, which is coming out at 15. Split it, and then we slice it down the middle. Like that. And then we get the 2 shapes we want. And then this will be... Oof. Oof. This is not good. Yeah, what I don't like about this is... the fact that they're not right next to each other, because that means this is going to be a little bit annoying to... Can I do this? Yes, it retains the rotation, so I can do this. And you go in here, and then we have a maximum of 4 cranes. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is exactly what we want. And and then I realized that this is not going to work. Why? Well, this is not only going to make it, it also needs to get the other things inbound. So I need more cranes, and I don't have more cranes. So, we can research that obviously later on, but I built it, can't believe I built it a little bit too big. So we don't have any way of getting the bots that we have gracefully created in the past, get that in here. So we'll have to cut this down to sort of half size and then get the bots in. And so this building is now completed. Here we go. But it says that we now also need this. And obviously, we need it at the same ratio. So we kind of need 2 more here, which I can't get because we don't have any points for buying upgrades. So, this one is still problematic. We are going to take this. This is a harvester drone. So it's basically this... this core facility is outputting on a drone network, so you can put it here and then it sort of starts that process. So we could keep these further apart if we want to. But at this point we don't really need to, so it looks a little bit redundant to have like a connection like this sort of short distance. But we're going to be dragging it in here, and then we're going to realize that no, we can't do any more of these. So we're going to unfortunately have to remove one of these. Maybe even remove 2. No, don't demolish that, please. This one. And build the cranes over on this side. There, good. And then it will actually start working and outputting some basic bots. It's not a lot of basic bots, but it's something. And they will be output. And this is not harvested by drones, so now the only thing we want is now put a drone, which we could put up here, for example. Or I can even put it like, no. Like this, and then it's going to go into that location. I am going to hook you up to there. So now the bots we have created, if ever, will go Maybe over here. Yes, please. They're flying over here, and then they'll be brought in, and then we'll deliver our first android, and hopefully get some XP and some, yeah, some stuff. Here we go. Deliver, and we get our first 2 little bots coming in. There we go. Can we look at them? Yeah. Nice. So we got a level 2, and we got a rank up, and we got one of these points. Deliver 1 android. Oh, this is a basic bot. It's not even an android. Ah, never mind. So we didn't even get that. But we got level 2. What does that mean? If we look at, these are all of the shapes that are currently in the game, and we've done 4 of them. Yay. Here we have like deliveries. We are starting to deliver basic bots, but we need to do androids. Then we have challenges. They are sort of specific shape that give us extra points if we complete them, and they are a little bit more complicated, but they are also really good. Here's a tech tree, which is kind of impressive and really big. We get some techs for free. And then some of the next things we want to do is like second floor, which make them bigger. Crane amounts. You can see this only cost 1, but we don't have any of those. So that's not an option. Skylines is connection to other areas. Basic assemblers, yes, but they can be upgraded in speed, which is very nice. Then down here we have Freight Hub, which is something for later on. And then way later when we get to level 7 and get some blue blobs, then we can actually get faster belts. So there is that option. That means now the point of what we need to do now is trying to figure out what do we actually need. Well, we need to make a basic processing plant. The processing plant is making gray processors. Gray processors is the stuff that gives us points to buy from. So this is also needed. But it also needs basic cores. So we kind of need to do some basic cores again. This is luckily quite easy because we can just take this build and I can just plop it down over here. Let's see, something like that. I can plop it down here and then we get another build. It'll start working immediately and start not upgrading, but at least sort of build. And then this will make us basic cores. It's only 7.5. So the next thing we want to do is figure out how to do the basic processing plant. And I think I'm going to build it like next to it because we got some other locations here and figure out how much we need. So this will also have some shapes, and then we need to take a look at it again. So this is 32 plus 32. So what I could do is I could sort of make them out of one shape, or I could sort of 64 and 64. Oh, right. They're both like full shapes. So do I want to just produce it at this speed, or do I want to sort of say, oh, I want to double it? I don't think I can double it now because everything is sort of moving at the slow speed. So we're going to be building these. There is an option for sort of building them together as one shape. Let's see if that makes any sense. This shape here is half, and nah, it's not great. Like what I think I want to do is I want to build this shape. Is easy, of course. This one is a little more complicated, but it'll just need more operations. So let's give it a shot and start with the simple one, because then we can build it down here. So it sort of builds in a corner. We are going to take this one. And then that will be a furnace built here. Good. So this comes out at 15, and then we want to do this shape. So what do we need to do first? First, we need to cut it in size. Then we can cut it in half, like this. Then I think I want to... I think we want to split it now, so that one part gets turned black and the other one does not. This is coming out at 2 times 15. So we're just going to color one of them, and that will then be cut again. Yeah. And we rotate and we cut it down the middle, and then we can then say here, and then we're going to put it back together again as the shape. This shape. Good. That's one half, and the other one is going to be exactly the same ish, except it doesn't need colors. So we'll just do this, and then we'll terminate T for rotate. So let's see if this one, I will reset it so that it gets the new shape in here. Rotate, cut, yes, and then it goes in here. Reset. Come on. That one. These two shapes. So now I build another one. Yep. And that needs to combine the two shapes so we get the final form. 1, 2. New module created. Woohoo! That was the easy one. Let's do the other one, which is a little more complicated. And we're gonna first by taking. I can take this out. It actually somehow matches the same, and we're gonna drag it over here. Don't know how much space I need for it, but let's just try and do exactly the same. Copy here. So now we need to do this shape. So what is the first thing? First I want to cut it in half, because if I can take the one half and that'll be this part, so that'll be the easy half. So cut in half first. Cut in half. There we go. And then I'm going to split it because I want to do different operations with either of them. The first I'm going to do the black shape here, which means the first I need to color it. I'll color it black. This is kind of the same as this one. Then I need to cut it again so that it gets down to a flat surface. Hope you're coming in. Yes. And we will do slices like this. And then that will be here. And like that. So that is the back part of it. Now the other part will also need to be cut. Here I'm going to be, instead of making them next to each other, I think I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to cut it again. This is not great shapes, actually. There. And I might actually want to do this just so that it looks more consistent. And then I can do this part. Here, reset, and see what we get. So if I do this part, yes, then this is the back part, so we keep that. That's idle for a while. This one will now need to be cut down the length. That's going to be here. There, cut down the length, and then one of these is, one of these here is going to be colored black, and then we're going to put them back together. Let's see, like this, and yep, that looks good. And then this will also just be put together with the one that we got from here. And we need to wait for this to get all the way down there. Come on. Oh yeah, they are coming. Good. So let's see what we get in here. We get these two shapes, and they can now be put together as the final form. There. So this is a little bit more cumbersome build, and we're producing this at 15. And then I can take you and get that in. I suppose like this. There and there. And you're going to go add that one and add that one. So they're just coming in at 15. So they'll take a while to get this one done. And once that's done, we're also going to take this here and put it also in here. So we can just do that as well immediately. It's a little silly, these things, but it kind of just the way it is. There. And then you're going to be here. And then I'll get the last inbound. And we don't know what that's needing, how much that's needing now, but it'll need something. And so our building is completing. The basic processing plant is now completed, and we get 6 processors out, so it estimated at coming out at 15. Those estimates are not exactly accurate. So what are we going to do with the gray processors? The gray processor is the final step. I think we need to just junk it in here. So let's build another one in here. Another. And build it here. And that goes into the second one. And this one is connected to you. So they start flying over with the gray processors, and we'll figure out what happens then. I think that gets us some points, and that will be sort of the indicator for us to unlock the tech tree. And there's some good updates to get immediately, but let's just follow these first little blobs coming in, if that's actually correct. No, I think I need to make them into data shards, don't I? Yeah, that doesn't work. Huh. Yeah, that's not what it wants. Disconnect. there's a data center that creates data shards. That's what we were missing. So this data shard here, data center, goes in and it chooses gray data shards. So it has resources, 2 of those become 1. And the ratio here is, it can consume 15 and we're expected to produce 15. So yeah, this let's split that somewhere like here. And unfortunately that means that this can only sort of go into 1 and then it goes in here. And we will reconnect you to the data processors. So data processors goes in here and become data shards at a rate of 2 to 1. And then we'll hopefully get the data shards and they will be the ones. See, that white color is the same as that one. So this is exactly what we're looking for. Let's see, is it going in? Yes, hey, and we get the first little white data shard out. And that data shard should give us unlocking something in the tech tree. And that's the first one. Ta-da! We get the first thing, and then we can look at the tech tree. And we have 1 point. And what can we buy with 1 point? Well, we can actually buy the gray building floor, second floor, which is really a nice thing. Because then we can start unlocking things. This one, green, extra. So what does that actually do for us? Well, for example, this one. Now we can upgrade, but it takes 6 crystals. Or 6 data shards. And when we upgrade, it's actually really nice because it doesn't change the input, but it changes the output. So you just basically, instead of getting, I think this one's a better one. So instead of getting 2 out, we get 3 out, and we upgrade again, we get a 4 out, which is much nicer. So now we get the upgrade here. This costs 4 to upgrade, so let's just initiate the upgrade and see how it gets better. Now the upgrade is complete. We are getting this one. And what we can now see is now they produce 3. And then the upgrade is now 11.25. So if we can get the next upgrade, that would be nice. Because then we could get all the way up to 15. And if we could get 15 of them inbound here. So I'm also spending time on upgrading this because I know that I need it. Yeah, I need this one to be upgraded as well. Now the processing plant is upgraded, and this one goes, interestingly enough, it only went from 6 to 8 processors. So this, while this is a 50% upgrade, this is not a 50% upgrade. This is a 33% upgrade. I don't know why, but it is. But that means that it can potentially make 20 outbound, but it only can produce 20 outbound if I get 15 inbound here. The problem is that I'm not getting 15 inbound. That would require another update here. But at least this is now producing and producing a little bit more. This, if I'm getting 11.25 inbound here, then it'll be 11.25 and then it'll be like 33% more. So it'll still not be more than 15. So this one can still keep up. Since I feel this is too slow, then all I need to do is actually just take this and copy it one more time. Now I'm unboxing in some of these intermediates here. This is a little annoying, but yeah, maybe I can do this. So this will just start producing another one. Then I can take this whole thing here, at least over to this location, and I can stamp it down here. Yes, place it without this as well, and without this, and then this will still be a design. I do think that there's a case for getting it a little closer, like this. And there. So now it's a little bit closer to where we want. I can also just kind of take this and do this. And you... What? Oh, right, it's T. There. So now these are a little bit closer to each other. And... yeah. So this could also be upgraded to another one. Let's get you here, and I could barely make it there, but I can kind of just do here, and then we built minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there is here that one, and you. There. So this will now also start making additional processing power. And then we would be able to take this and also connect it to that one. We would then be able to take... oh yeah, here's a nice thing. You can remove the damn trees. Because of course you should be able to. That's like the worst. Trees are the worst. Get out of here. What game has ever... I mean... Oh, oops. Undo. Okay. See what the trees did to me? There. Right. So this is just kind of a way to just scale things up a little bit more. What this one completed, I will hit upgrade, because of course I will. Then I will get a... Here. Oh, right. That's already sort of that one. This one. This is going over and now being... coming for that one. Yeah, it's a little bit weird that they're intersecting, but that's just how it is. So I shuffled things a little bit around, and I just thought, you know, let's make this island just dedicated to this part here. So we have a little corner here that makes the little robots. This is 4 of these core facilities. I've now marked them all as auto upgrade. That means as soon as they can get an upgrade, then they will get an upgrade, because upgrades are amazing because it's just free stuff. And then I have each of these connected over to one of the core facilities. They go in, and then they go into the basic processing plant, which will gradually be made. This is just hooked up, so it takes a while to go through all this process. But it now starts looking a little bit more like a factory. This is upgraded, so it produces 8 cores. Then we have, we are going to take another one of these here, like this, and I am going to cut the connection to all of these, and I am going to say there. And then you can go in and merge to the other things as well. Good. So you are going to be connected to number 1 and 2. And and you are going to be connected to number 3 and 4. And that will produce more of these points, because these points are the ones that we need to buy the cool upgrades for. We just need... there we go. This one is now upgraded. Not fully upgraded, but upgraded to the level that we have a tech for. This one is... oh, right. It just immediately completed, and then it starts upgrading, because of course it will. It takes a while for the upgrade. This one's also working, and then it'll be upgrading afterwards. So this gives us a lot more points, and that means we can now go in here and just figure out what do we want the points, what do we want with the points. Like, one of them was increasing the cranes, which is very necessary because our basic bot is not working very well. And the other one would be this one. So luckily we have exactly enough for both. And that one. So as soon as we do the upgrade here, these will try to upgrade to the next level whenever they can. We don't know how much it takes. It takes, what? Unlocks high on the tech tree. Really? But didn't I get it? Or was it just this one? Did I not get this research? Oh, right. There we go. Now I got it. I just must have let go like immediately. So this one can now upgrade. It takes 18 to upgrade, but luckily we are also just producing more. What we can do now is this one was having issues over here with lack of bots incoming. And that should now be... This should be a little bit faster. This is basically saying 1, 1, 1, but then I'm putting 2, 2, 2 in here, and that should be better. Is that... Yes, this is producing 30 outbound, and it should be able to handle it. This one will obviously also be upgraded, because upgrades for this is amazing, and this will make the bots better. This is also going to be auto upgraded, so we get more of these little basic bots. This is the same build as we have here, but it's now dedicated here. And we got a rank up to level 3. So now it's all about just making the android. But first we need to let this upgrade a little bit more. But we could start looking at other locations. Here is, yeah, 16 plus 16, and then some hexa crystals, and also some oil that we are going to need for pigments. Is there another one that does not have any? This one also has the same. What about you? Do you have like only... No, you have the same. Okay, so they're basically all the same here, these neighboring ones. Yep, okay, so we can expand to any one of these we want. This one is easier to get into this platform. So I'll be clicking this, and then we'll buy it for one of our purchase points. So every level we get 1 expansion point, it seems. And this is now a place where we can start expanding to the drone, the android. So we need to figure out how to make the android, and that is... We don't know. So I guess we have to find it in our research. Yeah, blue pigments, and then it's advanced core facility, and then it's the advanced processing, and they're that one. So that's a long way out, and that's definitely something we would need to do in in a future episode. So I think that we got a little bit of a look and feel into this, just to see that, yeah, it works. This one is now upgrading. I need to just auto upgrade this. This one is auto upgrading. So you can kind of build a little module, and then you can copy the modules to build a factory, and this one can then sort of consolidate in here and make more of these processes, and then we can do this. So now what we want to do is we basically want to let it run for a while, and then so that we can unlock some of the next things that we need to go, because we need to go into the blue pigments, and then into core, small cores, advanced cores, and then into this one. So it's a long process, but we do definitely need to have this one running, because that will keep generating points at a really decent rate once everything is updated, of course. So anyway, I think this is a great place to wrap up our first little episode, and how we are going to build a factory in this one. So if you want to see more and just explore into the blue pigments and the advanced parts, then by all means, let me know in the comment sections, hit the like button, then I'll see what I can do and see how we can proceed with this. I think there's a lot of cool things about it. There's some frustrating parts about it, but this map is so much better, because you can actually build factories that sort of look like a factory instead of sort of running into terrain issues. But there's like, okay, this is a city block, you could say, and then we sort of take all the resources here and then turn them into something. What I would like to do, for example, is just turn the rest of these resources into more bot production, so that we basically say everything here is allocated to something. So this is even more efficient use of resources. We now take all the resources here, all the resources are going in, and they're going into core facility, core facility. Each of the core facilities are, when they are fully upgraded, producing 15. That goes into this one, where it really should be getting 15, but doesn't seem to be working. Why is that not the case? That one would be here, and you would get a crane in there. This is why we have to check. So that's to be 15, and it goes in here at 15. The other ones also look a little bit weird here, and that one goes in, and you will also get a crane in here. Good, and this is coming in from that location, which is still in the process of upgrading. And then we get it. But if the path that actually works, we are getting 15 in, and then we're getting like a really obscure number out. But I guess that's just how many we're getting, because we can't do, oh right, this can upgrade even further, but it just needs 24 additional. So it's just chugging along, and eventually it'll be upgrading. And I imagine that this will then eventually be, I don't know, maybe 12 or something. I don't know. I think it would be 15. Like if it, no, half of whatever comes in, and it comes in at 30, so it should be 15 outbound somehow, if it all works. If we look at this, oh, this one here, this should be getting more in here, and I guess we could get another crane, just to make sure that it actually works. Like, there's so many tweaks here to try to figure out what the hell's going on and how it works. And yeah, so this is working. It's making now 11.25. Ah, right. So when this one upgrades, it'll be 15. So we'll actually make, once everything is updated and everything runs smoothly, it'll be 30 robots per minute coming in here, and also a lot of additional points. But all the points are now being spent on upgrades. Right, so I just wanted to show this. This is now my first island, and it's complete. It's gone. Nothing more we can do here. We can maybe bring in a few more resources into this, but we've also used all the resources quite efficiently for some neat little modular builds. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you want to see more, and I will see you guys in the next episode, if there will be one, or in some other thing as we progress. Until next time, take care and stay effective.